It might look...
3 centuries ago, war games looked a lot different than they do today. Long gone are the armored knights and fair maidens. Or are they? We found a group of historians whose favorite pastime involves swords, shields, and battle axes. They play medieval war games as if they were knights of the Round Table.
Hear ye, hear ye. The kingdoms of Caid and Aesenveld send greetings unto the populace of the known world and invite all to join in the 7th annual Estrella War.
What you are witnessing is the reaction to a great calling, a calling that only an amazing group of people respond to. As we tell you the story, we ask you now to free your mind of this time and place and imagine a wholly different world. To these noble folk, the known universe is divided into 11 different kingdoms, and 2 of those principalities are represented here today. Welcome to the Middle Ages, in the middle of what's usually known as the Arizona Desert. Now, if you ran out of gas near this national park outside of Phoenix, you might think that you had stumbled upon the Twilight Zone. Suddenly, a fierce battle is all around you. It all seems so unreal. But if a war is to be held, then Sir Gaston will surely be in the middle of it. It is well known that he is one of the greatest knights in the kingdom of Caid. And today, he will defend the honor of that kingdom against the dark forces of Aedenvelt. Sir Gaston is the alter ego of one Chris Gilman. And Chris is but one of the 40,000 members of the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronism.
Benefactor of this tournament, Sir Gaston.
Anachronism is something that's out of place, time-related. We are a group of people who practice something that is no longer around.
When peace rules the land and Sir Gaston puts away his sword, Chris doesn't exactly go back to the real world. He can be found in an equally mythical place, a place called Hollywood, California. When I went to see him at his special effects laboratory, I realized that for Chris, fantasy and reality are forever linked. By day, he creates the models, masks, and miniatures that are the stuff of movie magic. And by night, he is, well, a knight. Now, within each kingdom, are there different ranks that a fighter can attain?
There really aren't, as you would put, ranks. Unlike martial arts, I should say other martial arts, because this is a martial art. There are no belt levels. You have a level of fighter known as a knight, okay? And knighthood is achieved by not just your fighting ability, but by your chivalry, your honor, your pursuit of other arts, crafts, dancing, singing.
Well, I don't know how good Chris is at singing and dancing, but as Sir Gaston, he definitely showed me a few tricks when it came to fighting.
Do your regular blow now.
And then...
Well, let me ask you a serious question. You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses on, would you?
That's why I took them off, so you could hit me.
I can't see now, though. Sir Gaston loves to fight, almost as much as Chris loves to retell his favorite war stories.
Weapon and pops me right in the face. Well, I'm at full tilt run, and this guy hit me, and I tell you, I went straight up vertical. I was just like as horizontal on the ground, and I hit the ground like, I mean, I've never been hit so hard. And I'm just laying there going, and of course you can't breathe because everybody on the sideline that watched it all went at the same time, and they pulled all of the air off the field. They've all inhaled it, so there's no air to breathe, and you're just laying there going, and that's the only reason I figured I couldn't breathe.
So as Chris goes on about his past glories, let's return to the site of the war. There's no question that this is more than just a recreation of the past. This is an amazing game, and the combatants are serious about winning. Like any game, there are rules and accrued points. Sir Gaston prepares now for the 4th battle of the weekend, And at this moment, the overall score between Caid and Atenfeld is very close. This game is not for the timid or faint of heart. Check it out. No one is pulling his punches.
To watch these huge armies moving back and forth, it was really exhilarating. I mean, it was just, you really got pumped up. When you look at the speed and the power that's generated, I think we're doing it pretty accurately.
This battle goes well for Caid as they overwhelm Atenveldt and force their retreat. Look closely and you'll see knights dropping to one knee or perhaps fighting with one hand behind their back. This is all part of the elaborate rules of medieval combat.
Hail chivalry! Hail chivalry!
We can take a closer look at the way of the sword by watching the prize tourney that Sir Gaston is conducting with a few hand-picked knights. With no judge, referee, or umpire, this is truly a sport based on honesty and honor. The knight on the receiving end must decide if he has been struck by a fatal blow.
Lay on!
You're fighting for some pretty hefty prizes sometimes. You talk $600, $700, $800, $900 worth of sword. And then you got guys out there going, yep, I'm dead. Oh.
The essential rules of medieval combat involved two types of hits. One that is considered a kill and one that only wounds. To make a kill, you must make a hit to the head, neck, or torso with a forceful thrust.
Yes.
A strong hit on the arms or legs results in a wound, and that knight then forfeits the use of that limb by dropping to one knee or by holding the injured arm behind his back.
Please, sir. That blow could not have been good. Please pick up your sword.
Oh, my arm is smarting.
The knights fight for points that accrue for their kingdom, but they also fight for the honor of their fair ladies.
My lady, as well as yourself, and the beauty of Atenveldt.
Everyone here enters into the fantasy wholeheartedly.
Mainly the Queen's duty is to inspire the troops to victory.
It's been a wonderful chance to get to meet all of my kingdom, my populace, and also others as well.
Everything counts toward the overall point total. The one-on-one contests, arts and crafts, and archery. But the main factor towards victory lies in winning or losing battles. And by the end of the weekend, the final and deciding confrontation is at hand. The great horn is sounded thrice to signal it is time for the kingdoms of Caid and Atenveldt to gather in combat and fight for the crown of their realm. Sir Gaston, now in his magnificent yellow outfit, joins his fellow countrymen and sallies forth to battle. Make no mistake, this is a physical, aggressive contact sport. And even though the uniforms and style of play may seem unreal, their desire to win is very real indeed. The battle rages for over an hour. 800 combatants fight in the hot desert sun, each man wearing armor that weighs in excess of 60 pounds. It's an incredible sight. In the end, Caid cannot withstand the continuous blows handed out by Atenveldt, and so is forced to accept defeat. As all knights are duty-bound to do, Sir Gaston and his men suffer their fate with dignity.
What just happened out there is I wasn't looking behind me when I should have. The guy knocked me down in the bush and asked me to yield, and I said, no, I'm not going to yield. You got to kill me. So after I grabbed a hold of him and pulled him down on top of me, I figured, yeah, I'm dead.
So as Gaston prepares to return to his other self, the Chris Gilman in him knows that this weekend in the Arizona desert has forever enriched his life. For a few short days, he and his comrades traveled back in time to a simpler era, a time when the ideas of chivalry, courtesy, and honor were more than just words. But lest we forget, Chris is a competitor, and though he may have lost this ancient battle, by deftly leaping back to the future, he may still have the last laugh.
Hey, any of you guys that don't take the shots that I hit you with, I got a camera up there watching you, and I'm going to look at the tape, and I'm going to come looking for you guys, okay? Hey, and also, I'm wired for sound. They can hear everything I say, so I'm going to call you by name.
And so for Chris, Sir Gaston, Medieval Games becomes the link between fantasy and reality.
Next up, more amazing games from Mexico. Stay tuned.